This is the Tesla 1 month overview reading for the month of December 2025. It's currently December 4th, 2025, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. I apologize. Thanks for the patience for those of you waiting for this. Came out a few days late. It's impossible to keep up with these deadlines. It's like one after another every single month, and they're like hard deadlines, guys. So like sometimes it's like I can see my family or I can like finish a reading, and this Thanksgiving, I chose to see my family. Last Thanksgiving, I did readings, so appreciate the patience. TSLA at the time of this reading, $548.90. That's USD. And the shuffle video for the December reading was created on November 25th, 2025 at 12:13 p.m. Eastern Time. That's this video playing for you here. So, guys, we're going to cover the overall trend direction, chart behavior, and the day-by-day sequence of chart events throughout the month of December. We're at the end of the video, we're going to give you one of the best trades that we see. But it's important to understand how these predictions work. If you try to trade this alone, just don't, guys. This reading is an expectation, a guide to the expectations of what we see happening. But there are cases where you'll need to give the timing plus or minus a day or two of wiggle room on these 1 months. And that's because these cards going left to right across the screen are what we call timeline cards. They represent about a day of time on a 1 month reading, but not each card's energy will necessarily line up perfectly with 1 day of time. So there are cases where you do need to give it wiggle room on the timing, but in those cases, the sequence of chart events remains accurate nonetheless. That's why I highly recommend, if you're serious about trading this information, that you get the monthly access subscription, which gives you the Discord trade alert channel, as well as the chat channel to ask questions, and a bunch of other stuff. I'll show you how to get that at the end of the video, my friends. So the overall trend in chart behavior, there's a significant buy opportunity here on a multi-day scale. It's crossed with the revisiting, decline into a revisiting of a support level that was recent past opportunity. So my sense is that we're probably talking about the support here at 392. Behavior around the highest high. We have a rally along a diagonal trend line, breaking through one horizontal resistance to meet another resistance before pulling back to somewhere between those two price levels. And the behavior around the lowest low for the month, we have a rally along a diagonal trend line ending with a fast sudden move higher, and then a breakdown through that diagonal trend line with increasing volatility on the way down. And my sense is that based on these two court cards being in the high and the low significator position, they're very, very similar. Is that we probably go from the high into the low, right? Like the rally turns over and takes us from the high into the low. That's what I'm seeing in the sequence of events as well. Now, on the first, we have a decline that continues into the second, and the decline ends on the second with a fast sudden move higher. Really ended up being on the third, but we have erratic behavior back and forth through the same price level on the third. Looks like it's more so the second. I mean, it's more so the fourth, excuse me. Sometimes that'll happen, but the sequence of chart events is still remaining accurate. We should have a prominent peak, which we're seeing here on the fourth, a prominent peak, and a resistance level highlighted that we decline from and then return to in the not too distant future. I think we probably break through it temporarily towards the end of the day tomorrow on the 5th. So likely we're going to see a price level probably have like a temporary peak here tomorrow. And those of you that are new to Astro Meta Analysis, everything is color coded, and everything green represents, like a green ellipse represents a peak or a crest where we see an opportunity to open up a short, maybe something along those lines. And then the P equals prediction, and the date is the date of the prediction. So I would open a short tomorrow. We'll talk about more about that at the end of the video. But we have a rally offering opportunity to open up a short or close a long. It looks like there's a temporary breakout towards the end of the day there. Apologize for the barking dogs. I board dogs as a side gig. Hey guys, no barking. Come on. So apologize for the lack of editing, guys. There's just so much work. I could edit it and waste time, or I could put out more information for you. So, all right. So there's a crest there that turns over probably on the 5th end of the day, and then we gap down over the weekend. The full card offering a significant and improbable opportunity. Hard to say how low it's going to go. But there on Monday the 8th, I would utilize that full card opportunity. There's probably temptation there towards the end of the day to chase a decline. But it looks like we come out of a lower price level early in the day, and then we end back at a trough towards the end of the day. Don't chase that decline end of day. There's a period of volatility on the 9th that ends with a fast sudden move higher, probably midday, and then there's a decline around the cusp of the 9th, 10th. An important technical price level highlighted before midday on the 10th. It's important on a 1-year chart scale minimum. And then we get into sideways fluidity, equal amounts of bulls and bears. So my sense is that probably however much movement to the upside we have here on the 10th, we probably have like an equal amount back down on the 11th, and then maybe another swing back up into another peak here towards the end of the day on the 11th. Equal amounts of bulls and bears, inflow and outflow there on the 11th. And then the 12th, a lot of volatility and a lot of price change covered. Hard to say direction with the Prince of Swords, but let's see if I can identify it with another card. It may be movement to the upside there on the 12th. I have this 3 question marks here and a non-filled in red circle because some of the other equity readings have a lowest low here around the 11th, 12th. So I put this in. I'm not seeing the significant trough here on 11, 12 on the Tesla reading, but it's a possibility. On the 15th, sideways rotation ends with a fast sudden move higher. There's also a significant decline with this with its unicursal hexagram. Hard to say if it's a drop over the weekend. It's probably a drop over the weekend. It's hard to say if it's a drop over the weekend. It's either a drop over the weekend into sideways rotation, and then sideways rotation ends with a fast sudden move higher, or it's sideways rotation, fast sudden move higher, and then a drop from that fast sudden move higher. But probably it's sideways rotation, fast sudden move higher, drop. And then we've got the Magus card on the 16th. Very likely a significant peak or crest taking place between the 16th and the 18th. We attempt to establish support on the 17th, and then 3 crisscrosses back and forth through the same trend line on the 18th, usually confirming a bullish trend. But in this case, I think it's probably a false confirmation. There should be a prominent peak here. And then on the 19th, a sideways fluctuating rally preceding a notable decline, probably gap down on the 22nd, sideways rotation on the 22nd, and then a fast sudden move higher, taking us into a peak around the beginning of the day on the 23rd, where we break through resistance momentarily. Then we break back down through it shortly thereafter with a full retracement. Half day on the 24th with a breakout kind of move to the upside, but there's also a unicursal hexagram there and a trough towards the end of the day, most likely. Very, very likely to have a prominent trough taking place somewhere between the 24th and the 29th. My sense is probably the 26th, but it could be any of those days. There's a decline on the 26th that turns into a rally mid to late in the day, and then another decline on the 29th, increasing with momentum moving forward in time. The 30th, we've got a period of volatility and a sharp drop that stands out in that period of volatility. Sideways rotation on the 31st along key support level. More rotation as we move into January. So the best, one of the clearest trades that I'm seeing is right here on the 5th, guys. If we've got a high side thus far on the 5th towards the end of the day, I would utilize that opportunity to open up a short and close that short at the open. On the 8th, I wouldn't hesitate. There's a bunch of other trades in here, but that's stuff that you can ask me about on the Discord. Now, the way that you get the Discord, guys, game-changing services, don't miss out. It's Black Friday, 50% off. We're doing the Black Friday probably into Christmas times. But everything on the website's 50% off, including the subscriptions, which means that if you get a 50% off discount on your subscription, it will remain 50% discount for the lifetime of the subscription. So don't miss out, my friends. Much love and appreciation there. You go to order now on our website, tarotfortraders.com, hit on subscriptions, subscribe here. $150 a month. Guys, it's a no-brainer. You make that back in one trade. Now, for the sake of transparency, our November reading was not our hottest. Our November readings in general, this was one of our worst months. I mean, we did our readings during Mercury retrograde, and sometimes there's just no avoiding it. We did have a lowest low thus far taking place on the 5th. And then on the 7th, we did have a highest high thus far. It just ended up being the highest high period. And I was expecting us to come back to highs at the end of the month. It looks like it didn't happen until the beginning of December, but that expectation was there. There was just a little wiggle room. Now, where we really went wrong was the lowest low. And I can see right here the human error. This was so clearly a lowest low. And it's even here on the 14th, right? 14th was the lowest low. The Princess of Wands at the lowest low, indicating a rally out of it, offering opportunity to open up a short position, most likely meaning that we would see it again. And here on the 21st, where we've got the Queen of Discs, sideways rotation and a sharp drop in that period of sideways rotation to revisit a support level that was recently a past opportunity. That's the Queen of Discs. What did we do on the 21st? We revisited lowest lows. So human error on my part. But this is why it's great to go back and look at these things. Whenever I am wrong, it's a great opportunity to learn and get better. And that's what we just did. So with that said, guys, much love and appreciation. That's the TSLA reading for December. Blessings to all my angel investors. Following the rule of karma on the resources tab of our website, Tarot for Traders. 5% forward, 5% backwards, 90% out of love. Follow those rules. The universe considers you an angel investor. It's going to send it back to you tenfold for following through. I will see you guys on the next one.